Well, guys, we are in some weird times right now. I think the effect of this SBC change, the exact ratings requirements are kind of being seen now to a fuller extent, and people are not very happy about that right now. We'll go ahead and talk about it. There's been an icon selection. The icon has been picked now from the Champions League, so we'll go and look at that as well. We got an evolution coming too, just some other random bits of information and news and stuff like that. And of course, we got the PSG guys too, and we'll talk about that next. But first of all, I want to say thank you for joining and being here. And what I also want to say is send me your evolutions. Either DM it to me on Twitter at JFC above my head or message me on PSN. My PSN is A-J-3-4. I'm going to make a video on that on my second channel in the coming days. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. Looking at all your guys' Evos, so just leave me a message, leave me a Twitter DM, and I will review it. Now, okay, obviously we figured the PSG team would come out, and it looks just about as good as we would hope, right? A lot of crazy expensive cards in here, of course, but that's because they look so damn good. They have just juiced the shit out of these teams. I think that is objectively a good thing. I like the fact that these teams are just super juiced. Now, of course, the side effect of that is that pack weight's really bad on these cards right now. So because the pack weight's bad, they're out for 2 days, it does make it a little bit like, well, even if I grind my ass off, I still might not get some of these, and I understand that definitely can be frustrating, and it is frustrating. I don't know why I said it can be frustrating, but the bigger thing right now really that people are upset about mostly is just the fact that we have these exact 86 overall requirements, and the best SBC that they've dropped in quite a while has these, and now we're kind of all looking for 86s a ton if you want to do these picks repeatedly. And what also people are figuring out right now is that the pack weight is like directly tied to market prices, right? This has been a post on Reddit that went pretty big today for Reddit, and it says you're having trouble packing 86s because the pack weight algorithm is directly related to market prices. So maybe not directly related, but definitely there's a reason you don't pack Teo as much as you pack another random 87 rated gold card like Lavelle and Emi Martinez. So this is also now like coming to the forefront a bit where, oh my God, why am I not being able to pack 86s right now? Well, the pack weight on them is probably legitimately worse than 87s, 88s, and 89s are right now. So what really is the solution for this? And is this even a bad thing? You know, is it more interesting now that you have to try and get certain ratings, and now 86s are at least kind of expensive? You know, I think that this is the problem with this exact rating thing, is unless you have a bunch of SBCs out at the exact same time where you would need exact ratings of, you know, say 84s, 85s, 86s, 87s, all the way up to like 91s or 92s, then in that case, they'll all rise to a floor and kind of naturally be a little bit higher than each other, which I think was maybe EA's goal here, is to eventually get to that point. But as of right now, it's like, yeah, you're going to choose a Rolfo over anything else, right? You choose Rolfo over like a 91 if you're trying to go through and craft the Encore icon picks, or sorry, just the Encore player picks, not icon picks. But right now, really what this all comes down to at the end of the day is this thing I think that EA realized at some point this year. I don't know exactly when they realized this. They realized at some point in this year that they maybe made something too good. And that is this: EA ruining the point of untradeable duplicate storage. This, to me, I think there must have been a point this year they realized, like, wow, we gave them too much. Like, we genuinely gave them too much, I think. They can't go back on the 100 SBC storage duplicates. And to me, this is, I think, why we haven't seen crazy SBCs recently, because they know we have so much of this, and they're hoping that we spend some of it on other stuff, and they won't give us crazy cards and SBCs because we'll be able to complete it so fast, which will make a card in our team even better, and maybe make like a Hullet in our team, right? And that would solidify a spot in our team maybe to the end of the year, and that would be one less spot you're trying to upgrade to improve your team to a point where you might spend FC points. That I don't know what else to even explain this whole untradeable duplicate storage thing. No SBCs dropping, now changing the requirements, make fodder go up again, while also simultaneously wanting to make the menu grind worse, right? There has been some things they've done this year to make it a little bit better, talking about the crafting upgrades where you put silvers into golds and stuff like that. So the beginning stages of the menu grind are actually easier, but the end stages where you put them into a player pick or you put them into an upgrade are really bad, and the pack weight's really bad on those. So you kind of end up with, sure, we get more cards than we used to in terms of gold cards, but if the pack weight's really bad, then it's kind of like, okay, it offsets each other. The menu grind kind of isn't any different to any of the other years where we haven't liked it. And like Moist Kano says here, it won't really work until the menus are less stale, and they seem unwilling to let people have fun in the menus this year. And one of the reasons I think this as well is that let's talk about exchanges now once again. We haven't seen exchanges yet this year, and I don't know if we will. We're in June now. It's June 1st. No exchanges. Probably not ever happening, right? Donk said yesterday, just drop exchanges, man. It's not that deep. Gatekeeping SBC grinds in June. I think they still are. I think they genuinely think that not only exchanges combined with duplicate storage would just be too good, duplicate storage might just be too good. Because what is the other reason at this point we are not getting big SBCs? There has to be some kind of reason. It's been 6 to 7 weeks, right? There's a reason. And maybe the reason, simply put, is that content just hasn't been good and it's more of a power curve problem. I'm willing to believe that that's the case. I've talked about that before. But the fact that we just went through a horrible cycle of bad PR in like the winter time where they started to make a ton of changes, but guess what never came back? Throughout all of it this year, what never came back was exchanges. And FUT Sheriff leaked at the beginning of this year that we were going to see exchanges. All those leaks ended up coming true, right? Sheriff is like super reliable. All his other leaks end up coming true with the paid season pass and other things like that, evolution changes, all different types of stuff. Guess what didn't come true? Exchanges coming this year. Maybe in July they come out, right? You know, it's still possible, but I think we might see big changes next year to what the whole fodder system kind of even looks like. If they're going to keep dupe storage, fodder in general just might be harder to get because this system right now, I don't think they like very much. I think it gives us too much in their opinion. Now, that could of course be bullshit. That's just me connecting the dots or attempting to connect the dots. But be honest here, what would you rather have right now, looking back at this year and what this year has been? Would you rather have exchanges or would you rather have duplicate storage? I always said this year that SBC storage has to be better than exchanges, and I think like literally if EA dropped big SBCs, I think SBC storage would still be better. But if they're just not going to drop big ones because of SBC storage, and exchanges is better to me, and it's just more fun, right? It was so fun last year with the exchange grind. That was probably the best thing of FC24 was exchanges, right? There wasn't much else great about it, and I don't know what to make of any of this. We're in weird times. It feels like EA's making this sort of test run here for next year because they love to test things for next year. I think this exact ratings requirement is a thing they're going to test for this year to see if they want to implement it in next year's game. But it feels like EA are in so many different minds with how they want to do things, and it just ends up with a jumbled kind of mess that we have for the menu content right now, which the menu content needs to hold up and do well because the gameplay stuff has not held up too well. In terms of the likability of the gameplay and funness of the gameplay, sure, why not? And also some server problems. I think it was mainly Xbox had some server problems here, and people were talking about getting DC'd and champs. So congratulations, you have been selected for a loss from EA Sports. So okay, that did happen today as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about just the whole fodder system right now. Looks like they might be changing some stuff in it. Otherwise, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're cooking up over there. And if you guys have any theories, let me know. But okay, we do have our icon selection. It's going to be Robin Van Persie, which I think is cool. I think Van Persie is a card that's actually ends up being pretty good in FIFA. Not official stats here. We don't have those leaked yet, but it will be RVP coming. And hopefully he does get 5-star here. But okay, we don't have any word on what day it'll come out either, so we'll see. And all right, next up here, we've got a Messi evolution leak. Well, Messi can be used in the evolution, right? Tots evolution plus 99 stats upgrade, composure, playstyle plus upgrade, and rules upgrade, obviously. But that's kind of all FUT Agent says here. It's a 99 stat upgrade, so I guess any of these it could end up being like 99 physical, but we'll wait and see. And Messi does fit in here. It looks like that quite a few of the cards people sent in actually don't fit into this new evolution. This Neymar does not fit in here, but here's one more card that does fit, and that is this Musiala card right here. So 93 pace, 91 shooting, 92 dribbling, 2 playstyle pluses. Another Cam Evo, by the way. We've gotten a lot of those recently, and this is not the one that came out today, apparently. This is one that we haven't seen yet, and also we do know that he says here 99 shooting can be used, and then Trickster. So I'm assuming maybe he means Trickster Plus, or does that just mean you gain base Trickster? I don't know. And I guess that does confirm as well that 99 shooting will not be the one that... Oh, I guess maybe it could confirm that maybe it could be a 99 shooting Evo because you can use 99 shooting inside this evolution. So I guess it could be 99 shooting. But all right, yeah, it's kind of it for the Evo leaks that we have got right now. And random side note, I thought this was an interesting question, and that is, who wins the Ballon d'Or? Is it Ousmane Dembele, Lamine Yamal, and then Rafinha's on there? I don't know how Rafinha wins it over those two, but is it between Dembele and Yamal right right now. It probably one of the more improbable Ballon d'Or wins in the last quite a few years, actually. If Ousmane Dembele manages to win a Ballon d'Or and Neymar doesn't have one, right? Some other greats out there don't have one. I mean, Neymar played with Messi or Ronaldo, so I guess it's not that insane. But just kind of crazy to think about that Ousmane Dembele will get a Ballon d'Or if he is, the favorite to win it right now. I just wanted to ask you guys about that in the comments. And also right now, what would be the way that EA could really help the menu grind, right? Would it be kind of like a repeatable, really big SBC to try and kind of grind your way up towards constantly? Or what is the way that right now, with the way things are going, they can make this interesting? Because right now, we talked about, I think in the last video, that today, for today's content, we're going to get upgrade packs. Sorry, my voice is dying. We've got upgrade packs coming out that include Ligue 1 players, so we will be able to have like a day of grinding these upgrades with the Ligue 1 Road to the Final players in them. So that should help for today's content and making Monday interesting. But apart from that, what does EA really add to actually make this interesting? I think there are some things that I have, ideas of, but is it more repeatable SBCs? Is it just a couple bigger player SBCs? There's got to be a pretty simple way to at least make things a little more engaging right now throughout all of their seemingly really weird choices that we're seeing here, and just the weird time that we're in at the moment where EA, I think we got it too good. I think they think we got it too good right now. Yeah, maybe a one-time 96+ Road to the Final player pick where you can get any of these 3 teams, right? That'd be kind of cool, right? We are in June. You can reward the players who play your game a lot to get one possible great card in here. It's a 1 of 3 only. They're all fantastic cards. You can get unlucky and get a goalkeeper, center back, but we're at least getting a guarantee to pack one of these cards that they've dropped recently that are very, very good, right? But everyone's dupe storage is plumb full right now, so they're quite hesitant to do that. Now, okay, let's talk about the market, because people really want to buy these PSG cards, right? That's been a big question in my comments, has been over the last couple weeks since those cards have dropped. Like, when do we buy them? Is there a good buy time? Really, the best time is going to be, I would say, about 6 hours before they're out of packs, maybe 9 hours. Between that time frame when they're out of packs, or sorry, before they go out of packs, I think is going to be the time frame. The Chelsea cards and the Spurs cards both went up pretty high out of packs. And once again here, yes, these cards will be in upgrades, so they will be, a little bit more weighted than the other ones. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, though. I still think they're all going to be pretty decent buys 6 to 12 hours before they go out of packs. That's what I would probably say. That's what I'm going to do myself. I'm going to try and buy an Ousmane Dembele. I'm going to look at his price probably about 12 hours before they go out of packs, and then just kind of study it and then see if I can get a good deal over the course of a couple hours there, and then buy the Dembele card. And that kind of goes with all of these guys, because yes, Ultimate Team of the Season is going to drop this Friday. I do think there is a chance that does kind of cut into this, but I think you will be looking at, for sure, like say Thursday after Rivals Rewards post kind of that coin injection. I think the cards will be up higher at that point too. So if you want to sell, if you're scared before Ultimate Team of the Season, you can also do that. But for me so far, the trend has been like, definitely you want to buy these when they're still in packs, and then hold on for a couple days and you make some good coins. So that appears to kind of be the trend of these guys, and that's what I'm going to do myself. And added in as well is that the PSG team will just have some more hype because they're so good, and people want to use Kvaratskhelia, people want to use Dembele, Vitinha, Mayulu, right? These cards. So yeah, and then a big question right now too I'm seeing is like, what could possibly happen with fodder if other ratings are needed in other areas? If say they drop some other SBC that you need a lot of 88s for, or 89s for, or 87s for, what will that do? Well, the prices are going to go up if the SBC is interesting. That's just simple as that. Now, we have no idea what that could even look like, if they'll drop one, but yeah, you can't just club stock these guys, because I mean, right now you got 91s at discard, 92s at discard, talking to special cards, right? And these ones, they won't require like 93 pluses for exact ratings, I don't think, but 89s and lower, like, sure, I mean, go for it. If you want to club stock them, you can. They can't really get a whole lot lower. In fact, they literally cannot get lower. They are all a min price. Only way they can get lower is if you're on PC, which they're like, a few thousand coins right now. But yes, if they're needed, they're gonna go up, but we have no idea what would be needed and what SBC they could even drop. So all you can do is club stock in advance, and if they drop one, you'll make some coins. But outside of that, that's kind of all there is to do right now in terms of fodder investing. And that'll be the case probably for the foreseeable future until EA decide to drop at least one good player SBC. Maybe not even good, I'd say a great to fantastic player SBC. And okay, let's read some of your comments now. And the first thing I'll talk about is the consensus main topic in the comment section in yesterday's video. And that was that the pack weight sucks, right? It was the first day of MLS plus Saudi League Team of the Season. Everybody was like, yeah, pack weight seemingly is terrible on these cards. And we've talked about that some them already, but this is just the system that EA want to have this year. It's the quantity over quality. It's the constant spinning of the wheel, because that triggers those things in your brain, right, to get you more hooked, even if you know you have bad odds in it. It still kind of does the same things that it would have 5 years ago, but you now just expect less, so you're still turning the same wheels that creates addiction, but now you actually just get less. So it's win-win for EA there. And this is why I'm just sitting here like, you know, I think with SBC storage, they just kind of went with the quantity over quality of packs kind of philosophy this year. I wonder if that does change next year with the things we're seeing right now. I think we are actually in for quite a few changes in next year's game in terms of the fodder system, because this, to me, it can't go like this again next year. I think they don't like it like this. And I don't even know how we get to a point where it's more quantity over quality. Like, how do we get to a point next year where there's actually more things to upgrade, more upgrade packs? Because you know if they do that, they'll just be worse weight, obviously. How do we get to a point where we have even more stuff and worse weight? Is that possible to even get to? If so many packs right now, yet such bad weights, does that even, like, do they go up, build off that next year? Because that would be crazy if they managed to do that. And Tom here with the most upvoted comment was, simply put, where am I supposed to get all these coins for 500k seasons and 125k evos? It doesn't seem possible to me, which I suppose is the idea to make you spend more real money on the game you already paid £70 for. Makes me sick, and this game needs to be made free now due to the insane amount of in-game monetization. And I mean, 100%. So a couple things is that people will say to you in the first sentence, like, you don't have to buy all the evolutions, which is 100% true, obviously. But right now we're at the point where the seasons were pretty easy to get because we have so many coins we played all year, right? You probably got the coins to go and buy some seasons, do the evos that you want to be able to do. But yes, of course, the idea here is to make all the evolutions eventually paid, because that's what they did this year. Remember, last year we only had a really, I'd say maybe 20% paid evolutions, would you say? Maybe 1 in 4, 1 in 5 or so. Now this year it's 4 in 5 paid evolutions. Now we have a paid season pass. This is all to have you run out of coins, right? That's the whole point here, because you might have enough coins now for the season pass and the evolutions, but what you won't have enough coins for is buying your favorite cards off the market. You won't have a bunch of like liquid coins in your club because you're putting all of them into untradeable evos and season passes. So this is all obviously what they want. And some people will say, hey, no one's making you buy the season pass. No one's making you buy the evolutions, which is 100% true. But what happens when they go to the next step? What happens when there's something that maybe is one of the better cards in the game you can get for 250,000 coins or 20 bucks in terms of evolutions that makes everybody's team better, but now you don't get that evolution, so your team does get worse? Or maybe you could argue next year, theoretically, we see the first 2 playstyle plus cards in the paid season pass, and then those cards become the first 2 playstyle plus cards in the game. That's pretty damn good, right? That's very good. And if you don't buy the season pass, then you kind of fall behind a little bit. So this is all kind of playing on each other to a point where they're trying to get you to need to buy them, which is why they kind of made evos too good this year to a certain degree, almost in January and stuff like that. They tried to really make a lot of money on it, make you really almost need to buy them because they're so good. And now a team of the year evo we got in January was worse than evos we were getting in the end of April, right? That was happening actually for like there was like a full month where we were like, damn, that January evo was better, which I think EA now realize, looking back, saying oopsies, like they fucked that up. But it's undeniably true, this game is becoming more and more like a mobile game, a free-to-play mobile game. But no, you pay £70 for it, or £100 if you get the early edition. So yeah, of course there's other ways to look at it, like we've talked about, where you don't have to buy anything, right? If you don't have the coins, you don't have to buy anything. But also at the same time, there's no way this game should not be a free-to-play game. It absolutely should be at this point. And please don't buy these season passes with FIFA points if you don't have the coins. I would just wait, build up the coins. If you want to go buy it later, please go do that. At this point in the year, there is no reason to spend FC points on this game, because of course, remember, you can just save up to get the 500k or whatever it is and then buy it at any point and get all of the rewards. So just remember that. But yeah, send me your evos, guys. Thank you all for joining and being here today. Appreciate you all so much. Love you all. Service home. Peace.